message to the president is to make our country a better place by ending homelessness.
Homelessness for me is something that we can solve together.
Homelessness literally means having no home. You are lacking a place to sleep at night.
As of 2024, there were approximately 700,000 homeless people in the United States.
In the 1980s, after the U.S. stopped government funding for mental health services, there was a huge increase in the homeless population.
Mental health services are expensive, so only wealthy people could get the help they needed.
The biggest root cause of homelessness is mental struggles and trauma, whether that's mental illness, domestic violence, or something hurtful in their past.
People sometimes branch or bunch people together, right? And like, oh, every homeless person is an alcoholic or they're a drug addict or, but that's not the truth. People that are homeless have struggled with trauma.
Housing First is an approach offered by the National Alliance to End Homelessness and is based on the premise that people need to have a safe environment before they can start to heal and find stability.
Culver City, right outside, well, it's one of the 88 cities in LA County, they do safe sleeping. And when I heard about it, I was like, oh, that sounds horrible. Because what I thought it would be is somebody bringing their tent, their makeshift tent. Actually, it would be called glamping. You guys heard about glamorous camping? The tents were like $2,500 tents. Big enough for a full-size bed, a little dresser, and just like that might be a lot of money for a tent. But compare that to a motel room, which is what we're using. It's way too expensive. And the tent was lifted up on a wooden platform. It was a parking lot where you had all of these tents. There were services there, 24-hour security, all the hygiene that you need, and 3 meals a day. And that is a lot better than people being in random tents around, around the city.
It's not just housing, it's support after housing.
Housing First approaches aren't completely enough to end homelessness. We need more funding for mental health services available to anyone.
Community First, an approach utilized in Austin, Texas, is a bunch of affordable mobile homes available to formerly homeless people where they can all live and recover together alongside a community of people that understand their struggles and basically build back from the mental side first, but while having a place for them to live.
I really believe in housing. I think it's really important that someone gets into housing, but also housing with services.
We need a combination of housing and mental services. We need more affordable housing and higher income. We need to bring back government funding for mental health services. We need more programs to help the homeless, because they are people too.
If America wants to solve homelessness, we need to act now and together.
What can an average person do to help?
I think just realizing that you can help, right? So many people are like, there's nothing I can do, but yes, there is. Even just a friendly smile.
By taking the time and just see that I'm a person.
When I was out there with support from people, I really needed people to see me. I struggled with homelessness and I never thought I would. And so when I was out there, being unseen was really traumatic when people would look at you like you weren't worth anything. And so one of the things I really wanted to do was change that perception.
When you're in the car and you see a homeless person, you think, oh, that can never be me. But that's not true.
And I think a lot of times our country has made it like you're a drug addict, so that's why you're homeless. No, you're homeless, and then you have to survive out there. And so maybe you do fall into drugs and mental health, and all these things come with it. But the really reason you're out there is because something traumatizing happened, right? And so it can happen to any of us.
We need funding for mental health support, affordable housing, and financial assistance.
Most of all, we need to understand people. That could be us out there.
We are not all above homelessness.
For me, the street homeless should be seen not as threats to our quality of life, but as people in need of housing and services. The homeless should be seen not as an aesthetic blight on our society, but our society should be seen as a moral blight on the homeless who have been left to languish on the streets, unhoused and uncared for.
As the leader of our country, we would like our president to meet the basic needs of all our citizens, to overcome homelessness,
and bring a country together.
You have to own your story. There's no hiding from who you are, who you were. You have to own it.